So today I'm doing a reaction on TedEd. This is about the myth of boiling frogs. So I was curious, like, what the hell is the myth of boiling frog? I searched it up, and it says it's based summary. It's a frog put into hot boiling water, and premises that it would go away from the boiling hot water because it knows that this is bad for it and it hurts. That's what it's telling us. So that's what the boiling frog syndrome is. Anyways, but TedEd says it's a myth. So we should have found out what is all about the boiling frog. This sounds weird, but it's something new, okay? And it's TedEd. So we know we're gonna learn something hella cool. So let's just dive in and start.
Two frogs are minding their own business in the swamp when, wham, they're kidnapped. They come to in a kitchen, captives of a menacing chef. He boils up a...
You know what? Tell me in the comments below, would you eat frogs? Tell me. I think, I know, I would eat them. I would 100% eat them. They just look so delicious in my opinion. They're so succulent. Tell me in the comments below if you would eat them or have you, because I know that in some places it's a delicacy in France, and I've heard in America too, like maybe the big Australia, I think also like those big frogs. Maybe. So have you eaten a frog before, or is your place known for cooking frogs? If it is, tell me in the comments below. I want to go. I really want to try what frog tastes like. Like people say it tastes like chicken. Like, is it? Is it actually? Tell me. I want to know. I cannot wait. Maybe one day I'll buy it and go like, guys, I got it. So you're just gonna have to subscribe and find out later.
a pot of water and lobs one of the frogs in. But it's having none of
Fair.
this. The second its toes hit the scalding water, it jumps right out the window. The chef refills the pot, but this time he doesn't turn on the heat. He plops the second frog in, and this frog's okay with that. The chef turns the heat on very low, and the temperature of the water slowly rises. So slowly that the frog doesn't notice. In fact, it basks in the balmy water. Only when the surface begins to bubble does the frog realize it's toast. What's funny about this parable is that it's not scientifically true for frogs. In reality, a frog will detect slowly heating water and leap to safety. Humans, on the other hand...
That did not say that in this. This is just based on an urban legend described. Urban. An urban legend, people, frog being slowly boiled alive. The premise is that simple: if a frog is suddenly put into a pot of boiling water, it will jump out and save itself from impending death. So, didn't tell us everything, but it is an urban legend, so I wonder where the urban legend
are a
came
different
from.
story.
Let me search that up. Boiling frog come from. Tell me, where the hell did this place come from? Oh my god, my internet is so slow. Okay, this is a fascinating 19th century science experiment as the story goes. Researchers found that when they put a frog in a pan of boiling water, the frog just quickly jumped out. On the other hand, when they put a frog in cold water and put the water to boil over time, the frog just boiled to death. From Forbes. So pinch of salt, but the internet won't lie to us. That's interesting. So it's a 19th century experiment. But who did it? Anthology from a widespread misconception describes a frog slowly being boiled alive. The premise is that if a frog is placed, oh yeah, we understand. The frog come from where? Summary. Where did eat the frog? Tiny once said that if you have to eat a live frog, do it first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you for the rest of the day. The eat the frog strategy is prioritization and productivity method used to help people identify difficult tasks. You know, you learn so much from my channel. Subscribe today. Who knew? Mark Twain. Eat frogs in the morning, you'll be better later on. That's funny. Oh my god, this is a rabbit hole. Nah, this is a frog swimming hole. That's what? What am I saying? What is the story about the frog in boiling water? No. What is the story about the frog? No. What is the term? No. Oh no. It says who come from and who invented it. In the 1896, while doing experiments searching for the location of the sole German psychologist Friedrich Goltz demonstrated that a frog that has had its brain removed will remain in slowly heated water, but an intact frog attempts to escape the water when it reaches 25°C. So this is where the myth came from. They cut out the fact, what did I say? The fact that the frog had been already surgically removed brain, and then they put the water of boiling slowly and it not leaving, and then an intact frog, put them in slowly boiling water, then they leave. I see where the misunderstanding probably ended up in. So, let's continue.
Story.
You know the answer,
We're perfectly
people.
happy to sit in the pot and slowly turn up the heat, all the while insisting it isn't our hand on the dial.
Yeah, and it made kind of sense because frogs probably sense that, okay, it's gonna hurt me. I should go. I should leave. They wouldn't stay in slowly simmering hot. Like, oh my god, I'm cooking. I smell delicious. I'll stay here a bit longer. What?
Arguing about whether we can trust thermometers and questioning, even if they're right, does it matter? It does. Since 1850, global average temperatures have risen by 1 degree Celsius. That may not sound like a lot, but it is. Why? 1 degree is an average. Many places have already gotten much warmer than that. Some places in the Arctic have already warmed 4 degrees. If global average temperatures increase 1 more degree, the coldest nights in the Arctic might get 10 degrees warmer. The warmest days in Mumbai might get 5 degrees hotter. So how did we get here? Almost everything that makes modern life possible relies on fossil fuels. Coal, oil, and gas, full of carbon from ancient organic matter. When we burn fossil fuels, we release carbon dioxide that builds up in our atmosphere, where it remains for hundreds or even thousands of years, letting heat in, but not out. The heat comes from sunlight, which passes through the atmosphere to Earth, where it gets absorbed and warms everything up. Warm objects emit infrared radiation, which should pass back out into space, because most atmospheric gases don't absorb it. But greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide and methane, do absorb infrared wavelengths. So when we add more of those gases to the atmosphere, less heat makes it back out to space, and our planet warms up. If we keep emitting greenhouse gases at our current pace, scientists predict temperatures will rise 4 degrees from their pre-industrial levels by 2100. They've identified 1.5 degrees of warming, global averages half a degree warmer than today's, as a threshold beyond which the negative impacts of climate change will become increasingly severe. To keep from crossing that threshold, we need to get our greenhouse gas emissions down to zero as fast as possible. Or rather, we have to get emissions down to what's called net zero, meaning we may still be putting some greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, but we take out as much as we put in. This doesn't mean we can just keep emitting and sequester all that carbon. We couldn't keep up with our emissions through natural methods, and technological solutions would be prohibitively expensive and require huge amounts of permanent storage. Instead, while we switch from coal, oil, and natural gas to clean energy and fuels, which will take time, we can mitigate the damage by removing carbon from the atmosphere. Jumping out of the proverbial pot isn't an option, but we can do something the frogs can't: reach over and turn down the heat. Can you guess one surprising puzzle we need to solve?
I guess it. So it's like what is it called? A symbol. The frog is a symbol of us, like, understanding that we're in a fragile state, in a container, where we understand that the pot is slowly boiling, and that we can make a decision to turn that temperature down. So we learned something today, that the myth of frog boiling is fake, and it was a misunderstanding from frogs being surgically experimented on, and then that we need to understand that global warming is affecting a lot of things and that we can slowly change it. Anyways, I hope you learned something new. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!